Alright, so I wanted to come on here, guys, and share exactly how HVAC contractors can start building websites that actually convert into leads, and most importantly, allow you to scale and not rely on repeat clients. So the first thing that I want to talk about is why you should even listen to me. So a lot of marketers, what they do is they promise a lot of things and they don't really give you guys proof. And as any kind of local home service business owner, you need to make sure that you guys are working with people that have gotten results in the past. So to show, here's a recent Google Ads campaign I have been running for a local contractor here in New York City. As you can see, there are 15 conversions if you look at the screenshot from the last 30 days of running this local asbestos abatement campaign in New York City. And as you, I'm sure, are aware, contractors, you know that abatement is a very high ticket service, meaning, there's a lot of money involved with an abatement. So having a lead come in every other day related to abatement and having that person ready to buy, because when people go on Google, they are ready to overall make that decision in purchasing, unlike Facebook ads and Instagram ads where people are not normally going on that platform to buy. They are going on that platform, to feel an emotional connection. But that's a later discussion on types of ads. But furthermore, you can see here that this Google campaign is very successful, and the basis of the campaign is that the page in which the Google ads landed on definitely seems to have overall given us the results we want, and there are elements on that page that enabled the traffic user to feel confident enough to call or book a form. And keep in mind, the websites I set up, typically when there's a form that's filled out, an immediate SMS message or email is sent to follow up on these leads, because study shows that you must respond to a lead in less than 15 minutes. If not, they will potentially go ghost on you. So super important to have that. Anyways, let's continue down to the main discussion of our video, which is exactly how to create a high converting website so that way when you are running Google ads on your pages, you are more likely going to convert, because all the elements, everything is set up. The website's ecosystem is set up for people to make the decision and click on you as the go-to service for whatever service they're requesting, in this case HVAC. So the website I made right here is the one I want you guys to look at, and this is just for us to go over the specific checkpoints why this website will convert if an HVAC contractor decides to utilize it. And this is also to help you guys understand how it looks like and what, not to fall into the trap with many marketers that build you a website and then just drop you. You need to make sure that this website that they're building actually is valuable for you. So the first thing that I want to go over is the first impression. So when someone lands on your website, there needs to be immediately a first impression made. And what I mean by that is, let's start with the headline. So the headline itself is actually directed towards the intent of which people click the Google ad on. So let's say you run a Google ads HVAC equipment installation near me. You need to make sure that the headline matches whatever the original Google ad was saying. So in this case would be running something along the lines of potentially HVAC AC installation near me, and then from there they see make your space comfortable with HVAC equipment. And again, comfortable is a good word because it eases the initial problem people clicked on, which is that they don't have the comfortability of AC units installed. They don't have the overall systems built out to feel whatever it is that HVAC equipment does. So this is important. The keywords: comfortable, the headline is clear, it's crisp, and it again it not incentivizes, but it continues on with what the problem was when people initially clicked on the Google ad. So boom. So there's also immediate call to action. There's a button. There's two buttons actually, and this is important. There's a button with the phone number, and then there's a button with a form fill out to go along. So why is this so important? Because the second when someone lands on the website, you need to have various methods as to how people can contact you. You can't make this difficult for the user. If you make this difficult, less likely for people to convert. Again, the name of the game is one, trust, but two, in this case, friction. You want to remove as much friction as possible, and the friction, what I mean, is not being able to figure out how to contact you. So having these two call to action buttons, a button that calls action, is extremely important. It's right in the center when someone lands on your website. So these trust metrics are super important, because what happens here is the person then builds trust with you instantly, and that's super important because they need to feel assured and confident that you guys have been in business and overall know what you're talking about. And you indirectly create that by creating these certain metrics: 100% success rate, 24/7 support, how many projects you've completed, 50 years in the business. This obviously changes depending on who you are, and it also depends on the type of business you are. If you have just started and you have been in the business in the last 5 years, your approach should be a little differently. It should be then attacking specifically accreditations, really marketing yourself with all the different certifications you have that are nationally and statewide certified. So again, this is super important. You need to build all these trust metrics the second someone lands on your page. So this is good. And then overall, again, it's really clear as to what we're doing, what problem we're solving, and overall, it's very focused on exactly, again, the service we're providing, which is commercial and residential heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and services. And even including the town or the city, the area of where you're based off. If you're a local Google Ads, is super important because, again, people want to be assured that what they're looking at is in the same area as where they live, so that way the focus and the intention of their service is more assured, because one, the service matches whatever they want to purchase, and two, it's an area that they are overall living in, so again, it assures them further to keep scrolling. There's visual pictures that are explaining the types of services we do. This is really important because you need to, again, reassure the prospect as to why they are here and exactly continuing the intention of this is the page they have to be on. So, icons, again, we want to scroll down. There's this page right here, the service breakdown. You want to also list all the different services right off the bat, because that enables them to, again, further understand that this is the right page for them. Is this the type of page that will help them answer the problems? And in this case, yes, because overall it's very clear as to the different types of HVAC equipment solutions we could provide: heating, ventilation, cooling, and maintenance. And with that, there are also visual guides, icons that provide furthermore assurance that this is the correct page if they are looking for these services. So boom, it's also very clear as to the benefits involved when you're getting these types of services. Energy efficient, fresh, clean air. That's really important. You can go down. And also another important thing is that these keywords that we have on the landing page match the ad itself that we are getting people to click on and get onto this page, because that again boosts the credibility of the ad itself, which goes back to helping the Google ad rank higher on these searches, because the keywords found on this page, such as heating, ventilation, they match the original Google ad, and that boosts the ranking of the Google ad. It's called a quality score and relevance algorithm Google algorithm uses to make sure that Google ads that we're pushing actually are relevant. So that's there. So this is another aspect. You want to overall ignore this. This is just something I randomly put. But the idea here is that overall what you have is that there's another reason as to why people should book us, and that is because we provide free consultations, and there's also AC maintenance checklist. So why is that so important? There needs to be an incentive behind why people should click on your website. It's not enough just to say, call us. You need to provide some sort of incentive. And this goes back to psychologically conditioning the person to receive a reward when an action is done. And that allows your brain to be wired to wired to create a pleasant experience and to furthermore allow that behavior to continue and, incentivize that behavior. So that's there. And then that's why I really like that call to action, this consultation box, which is, you can see high contrast. Overall, the call out is high contrast. There's a CTA button, fast, and most importantly, the person itself is sort of pointing in this. So he's calling out the direction of which this is going. That's super important. He's calling out, this is where you want to exactly book the call. That's, again, the visual image is really important. And again, it's a person that looks like a HVAC guy, not just some random healthcare worker. We keep scrolling down and we find that, so this is super important because a lot of websites I've noticed missed the section on their websites. It's so important to call out why exactly the traffic should choose you and not the 10 other websites they're looking at. So you have to include why choose us section. And then in this case, overall, this is also random. Just ignore that. But why choose us? So this is super important because people need to be given reasons rather than having to come up with them themselves as to why they choose you. And part of that is putting in all of your unique selling points and mixing in common concerns people find when working with you. That's super important. So this comes to show you really need to understand the audience and you really need to understand their problems better than they understand themselves, because then they sort of understand that you're the expert, you're the professional, you've come across situations like this numerous times, and that's why your website comes out converting calls and forms, because again, it all comes down to showing that you know the problem better than they do. And so, yeah, this is part of it. Each is a double psychological reassurance. So what I mean again is the problem is, they don't have the payment right away, so that's okay. We don't request payment upfront. Some people really need emergency the next day within 8 hours service request. So we also offer emergency. So again, we all know kind of what the prospect needs by putting in all these psychologically reassured elements to our service. So boom, another huge element to converting a website and page is having social proof. And what I mean by social proof, I mean actually having people real reviews put on your page, and from there it's just immediate trust. And I really like this banner that's above it, because it just, again, it's another unique selling point. We don't, no overtime charges on top of the social proof. It really just allows people to feel assured, and most importantly, simultaneously feel like this company is valuable, since many people have trusted them before. And it's important to create these unique selling points with different colors so they really pop out. Going down, frequently asked questions. Again, you really want to reduce the friction with people figuring out whether or not you're the business to trust, and the way to do that is creating an FAQ section, and these are all questions you typically find over the phone. This also helps you as a contractor, eliminating time spent on the phone and allowing you to focus more on your business, because some of these questions are repeated and you can answer them on the website directly. So this is super important, and also builds authority. It builds trust, because if you can understand, again, the problems of the prospect way better than they can understand themselves, that's an immediate sign of trust, and having an FAQ section definitely does that. Another aspect, we went over this, I'm going to link this checklist in my YouTube video, so you guys could definitely use this setup for yourselves. But this is a checklist that is super important, because it pretty much captures all the elements from this website that you guys need to have on your website. Anyways, the lead form. This is so important. So why is this so important? You need to have, obviously, a form in case people are not able to call, or people are shy, or people aren't able to call and speak over the phone for an hour, but want to request some sort of consultation. So what you do is you create a form. You can even add more details involved with whether they're a tenant, property manager, homeowner, anything like that. You want to include in the lead form, so that way you get a better understanding of who they are. And another thing that is, when you are running Google Ads and you have specific options for which people can click on, you then send signals to the Google Ads algorithm telling with that specific search request on Google to hit our ads. So by creating a drop-down menu of the different types of target audiences you want, that teaches Google algorithm, when they click on that specific option, what types of users you want on your web page. So that's really important to have on your lead form. If that doesn't make sense, I'll re-explain it one more time. When you have a drop-down menu, or you have options on your lead form that provides more information, the type of client, the type of service requesting. So let's say there's a request for AC installation, and that person clicks that, and then they're also a tenant. That information of the lead gets sent back to Google, and Google then can understand that this person who put in this search on Google is the type of person we want to target, because they want AC installations near. And it teaches the Google algorithm what type of user we want on our page. Little things, little nuggets, again, but they're super important to understand when building out a website page and running Google Ads. The next thing I want to talk about is the map, the Google map. You really, as a local home service business, you really need to address the fact that you are in the radius of where the user is, because this isn't someone going online shopping for jeans on Zara, where it doesn't matter where it's getting shipped from, what kind of tariffs are being, inputted on the jeans. But it's all about understanding if you're close by as a local home service business, because you are going to people's homes, you're traveling to people's homes. They don't want a business that's 3,000 miles away from them. So you assure them right off the bat that this is the location. This is a Google map, so it is verified. It isn't some sort of random, drawn out map you made and put on the website. It's actually a map created by Google and its data, and it's right next to the lead form. So it furthermore assures them when they're filling out the form that we are close by and we are ready to help. Again, the call to action button has an incentive behind it. It's not just, submit form. It's book an appointment, and then download an AC maintenance checklist. So in this case, with this specific landing page, this page would probably be directed towards Google ads that fall under the AC maintenance installation request, because again, it just further the journey of which the person clicks on the ad, gets on the website, all the content is aligned. So that's why it's really important to have a call to action button incentivizing traffic with the initial problem the user had with now converting them and providing more value. Last but not least is the footer, and the footer is important because these are just additional points of information people can refer back to. Hopefully this was helpful. 22 minutes describing how I get leads for local contractors. If you're interested in getting leads and not just getting some website built out, let me know. If you just want a website built out, keep in mind these are all the elements you should include, especially if down the line you are running systems that allow traffic to hit this page, so that way you start getting calls, you can start getting forms, and everything is scalable with this. Anyways, thank you. Have a great day. It's Sunday. Let's keep going. Stay hard.